About Charlie Kirk, I have nothing to say. As of 10 minutes ago, there has been an update. He didn't make it. What I can say is that words do matter. 5 minutes before that update, there was this one. It's hard to know where the bullet came from right now. I'm sure they'll figure it out. But in the meantime, we know there are people who will be blamed. And you can't live a life spreading seeds of discord, hurting people, and not really be aware that there are consequences. And it's because on the playground, we were taught that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And that shit is as untrue as it can possibly be. Words not only hurt, but they live within us, especially when they're negative, especially when they are about our identity, about things that we can't change about ourselves, especially when they are used to demean and degrade and dehumanize people just for being different. Words matter. And it's also hard to know where the bullet came from because we have several groups of people in this country that have no political party affiliation whatsoever, but what they do have is a purpose and a plan, and that is to drive this country into the ground in order to get it back. There are two major groups, right? But a lot of those major groups are rooted in that highlighted word right there. One of them is through a religious sect where they are accelerating things to try to hurry up the apocalypse, to hurry up the return of the Messiah, as if they would be the ones he would bring up to heaven, wherever heaven exists. And then there is this other group who doesn't believe in democracy, who does not believe in integration, who does not believe in diversity. One of those bald headed leaders is in our government. This guy. Now, I'm late to the party of watching Scandal. I'm on season 2, like episode 4. I've been stuck on episode 4 because it's getting a little too suspenseful for my stomach. But there's this character that is called Cyrus, and he is the VP's he's the Prez's right hand man. Cyrus will employ any means to make things go in such a way that he protects his man while also promoting his ideals of what is acceptable for this country. On one end, he had someone in order to protect the country and his man. He reminds me of Cyrus in that way that everyone is expendable if it's going to get me where I'm going. And one of the reasons I stopped watching Scandal, besides the fact that my stomach was hurting when I was watching, is that it feels too prophetic. It feels like we're literally living through this thing that Shonda and her team wrote. And it's scary. The last episode I saw was where they were surveilling people through their phones or any device. And Olivia Pope and her team just discovered it because of the whistleblower. And I couldn't go any further because I know that's happening to us. I know that's happening to us, especially now that we have something on board by the name of Palantir and an evil monster on board by the name of Teal. What's happening right now could be coming from anywhere. Anywhere. Could it be a liberal, an extremist liberal? Absolutely. It could be. Because if you're going to demean people, emasculate people, you have to remember that words do hurt, words do matter, and words do inspire either action in a hateful manner, action in a fearful manner, or action in a protective manner. The fact that this man was touring college campuses was indoctrination. These young men on these campuses and these young women on these campuses don't even have closed frontal lobes. This incident reminds me of Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. No, Higher Learning, where you watch this bright ideal man just devolve into this hateful person. And while it was kind of in the reverse, like he was the perpetrator, you just watch how somebody gets radicalized. And going to these college campuses, yes, you saw the outward stuff where he's on stage talking, but what was happening beneath the surface? What was happening behind closed doors? Because there are five places, mainly five places, where these young Caucasian men are radicalized. That is gaming, that is frat houses, that is military, that is prison, and that is in churches. Those are the five main places. And most of all, it's while these people are young. Am I celebrating? No. Why would I be celebrating? His kids watched this happen. But his kids also heard the things he was saying because they were in the audience too, several times. And so he's inflicted pain on them as well. Who knows if the people he was talking about, demeaning, were actually his own kids who have yet to form an identity. I have no words. Um, I have no words beyond this. But no, I'm not celebrating because I know what's going to happen. Maybe we consider this the shot heard around the world, part two. Man, I hope not. I really hope not.